Hello everybody, this is Tucker Miller here again, and tonight, like I said, for my next video, I'm going to be ranking on all the DreamWorks films from worst to best. That's right, I'm going to be ranking all 48 DreamWorks films from 1998 through 2024. So, yeah. So anyways, let's not waste too much time. So, let's get started. So, number 48, The Boss Baby. Yeah, Boss Baby is not a very good film. I think this is the worst DreamWorks film in my opinion. It is childish, it's just not that good of a movie. Story is pretty predictable and yeah. It is definitely the weakest of. It is the worst DreamWorks movie out of all of them, in my opinion. I do not like this film. I'll say the animation is okay-ish, but still, I could not. I think this is the weakest out of all the DreamWorks films. It is not a very good movie, in my opinion. But but you guys like it, I respect your opinion, but yeah, that is just my personal opinion. So yeah, so anyways, so number 48 will have to go to The Boss Baby. Now number 47, Boss Baby Family Business. Now Boss Baby Family Business, it is still not a very good movie. It is not a very good movie. Definitely. It is not a very good film. But I'll definitely say this. This is at least a bit better. At least this is a little bit better than the first film. I would say animation is slightly better. It is slightly better than the original film, and I think this film has a pretty good soundtrack. But other than that, I could not get this film a pass. But yeah, I do not like any of the Boss Baby films at all, in my opinion. But yeah, so anyways, number 47 will have to go to Boss Baby Family Business. Still not a very good movie. At least is better than the first film. So yeah. Now number 46, Trolls World Tour. Trolls World Tour? Yeah, Trolls World Tour is not a very good film. It's not a very good sequel. Definitely the weakest of the Trolls films. Even though I don't really like the Trolls trilogy all that much. Because I think they're really, really childish. But, yeah. But I'll say, animation is pretty good. I can say that, but still. This film isn't there for me, so yeah, it is pretty childish. So yeah, so number 46 will have to go to Trolls World Tour. So yeah. Now number 45, Trolls, the first movie. And yeah, another very childish movie. But of course, the only thing I liked about the Trolls movies is the animation. But still, yeah, Trolls 1 I'll say is kind of better than Trolls World Tour, but still, it is still not a very good movie. Just really childish. lame, stupid, and yeah. This movie, yeah, the Trolls trilogy is for little kid. In my opinion, I think Trolls, in my opinion, is a little kid's movie. But yeah, but feel free to disagree. But yeah, that's just my honest opinion. So yeah, so number 45 will have to go to Trolls, the first one. So yeah. So now number 44. Yeah, number 44. Trolls Band Together. I'll say this. Trolls Band Together is still not a very good movie. That's for sure. It's still not a very good movie. But I'll say it is better than the first two films. But still, I still don't care for this film at all. So, yeah. It is definitely the weakest of. It is definitely better than the first two films, but still. It is still not a very good film. I still can't get it a pass. But, yeah. I don't like the Trolls. Like I said, I don't like the Troll trilogy because I feel like it's just made for little kids. But, yeah. But, again, if you guys like the Trolls trilogy, I respect your opinion. But, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I do not like any of the Trolls movies. So, yeah. So, anyways, number 44 will have to go to Trolls Band Together. Now, number 43, Spirit Untamed. Now, Spirit Untamed is. I'll say this. Spirit Untamed was just okay. It is not a bad movie. It is just alright. It is alright. Just okay. Okay, but I definitely preferred Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron more. Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron is a way better movie, but yeah, Spirit Untamed is just okay. I'll say the animation's good. Story was alright, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'll watch this film again. It is just okay. But this is probably a film I will not watch again. I'll just stick with Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron that came out in 2002. Spirit Untamed came out in 2021. But yeah. Yeah, so anyways, just an okay movie. So yeah. So number 43 will have to go to Spirit Untamed. Now, number 42, A Cruise the New Age. Now, A Cruise the New Age, I'll say this. It is not a bad movie. I enjoyed it from what it is. But, however, it is not one of my favorites either, but it is not a bad film. It was quite interesting. It was quite interesting that we saw that, and we got a little backstory how Guy lost his parents, and he reunite with these these people that he knew, and yeah, it was quite interesting to see them, and yeah. Cruise the New Age has really good animation, has a pretty interesting story, but however, I don't consider this to be the best out of the DreamWorks films. I think the first Cruise movie is way better. A way better film in my opinion. So, yeah. But yeah, it's Cruise a New Age. I don't mind going back to it. I don't mind going back to Cruise a New Age, but but still, not one of my favorites. So yeah, number 42 will have to go to Cruise a New Age. So now number 41, Abominable. Don't get me wrong, Abominable is still not a bad movie. Abominable is not a bad movie. I enjoyed it from what it is. It's just not not one of my favorites though. But I would definitely say has some interesting characters, has a pretty interesting story, and a weak villain, and yeah. Just yeah. Yeah, I don't consider this to be one of my personal favorites. It's just not up there on my list. But I'll say it's not a bad movie, but it is definitely better than films like Boss Baby and Trolls, that's for sure, but still. Abominable, not one of my favorites, but not a bad movie. So, yeah, number 41 will have to go to Abominable. Now, number 40, Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, I'm not gonna say Kung Fu Panda 4 is a bad movie, but I do have one issue. I have some downsides for this film. Like, I know I explained that in my movie review, but here's one thing I don't understand. Why weren't the Furious 5 in the entire movie until the very end? I don't get it. The Furious 5 were barely in the movie. They were only seen at the very end. Like, yeah, that's my downside for this film. But I'll definitely say animation's good. And I have to say Jack Black did once again voicing Poe. And I'll have to say Aquafina did a great job voicing Shen. Shen, who's the fox. I think Shen is a cute character. If you guys don't know, foxes are my favorite animals. So, yeah, I love foxes. They're one of my favorite animals. So, yeah, I think Shen is a cute character since she's a fox. But yeah. Yeah, and yeah, but yeah. Yeah, not a bad movie, but I kind of wish The Furious 5 has a lot of screen time like they did in the first 4 films. So, yeah. So, number 40 will have to go to Kung Fu Panda 4. But not a bad movie, though. But, yeah. But anyways, number 39, Turbo. Now, Turbo, again, not a bad movie. It's just decent. It is a pretty decent movie. I wouldn't mind going back to it. But I know the story we kind of hear it before. We kind of heard this story before, but I'll have to say it has great voice talent of Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson. But yeah, I'm not saying much about Turbo. It is just a pretty decent film. I know when I was a kid, I really wanted to see it in theaters, but I missed my opportunity. Then I watched it at home, and I really enjoyed it. And then years later, it's just decent. We kind of heard the story before. It's like the Cars It's kind of like the Cars of all the Cars of DreamWorks. So, yeah. That's how I can describe this film. It's the Cars of DreamWorks. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's all. So, yeah, number 39 will have to go to Turbo. Now, number 38. Wilby Gilman Teenage Kraken. Now, Wilby Gilman Teenage Kraken is another pretty decent film. I don't mind going back to it. But, yeah, again, we kind of heard the story before in other films, like Turning Red. Like in Turning Red. So, yeah. So, yeah, Wilby Gilman is not a bad movie, but we just heard this story before. But if you like I explained in my review, if you mix Luca, Turning Red, and The Little Mermaid, you get this film. But I'm not saying Wilby Gilman is a bad movie. It's pretty underrated. Pretty decent movie. So, yeah. So number 38, Wilby Gilman Teenage Kraken. Now, number 37, Penguins of Madagascar. Now, Penguins of Madagascar is not a bad movie, but definitely not up there. It is another pretty decent movie. So, yeah. It has great story. It has a pretty decent story. But I would definitely say I kind of preferred the Madagascar trilogy. The original Madagascar trilogy. But, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I would say that show that once aired on Nickelodeon, Penguins in Madagascar, the TV series that was on Nickelodeon that aired from the 2000s to 2010s, it was a lot better. I actually liked that show. It was a pretty good show. It was a pretty good show. The Penguins in Madagascar show that once aired on Nickelodeon. That was actually a pretty good show. So, and I think that show is better than this movie, but I'm not saying Penguins of Madagascar is a bad movie, but I kind of prefer the Madagascar trilogy better. So, yeah. So, number 37 will have to go to Penguins of Madagascar. So, yeah. So, now, number 36, Home. I'm not saying Home is a bad movie. I find some enjoyment out of it. But, I mean, it is definitely aimed towards kids, but I do find some enjoyment out of it. Has great voice talent of Jim Parsons, Rihanna, Jennifer Lopez, and Steve Martin. Yeah, it has a pretty good voice talent and has really good animation. It's kind of a cool movie, but it is pretty underrated. But definitely aimed towards kids, but you can still find some enjoyment out of it. In my opinion. I know not many people like this film, but to me, you can find some enjoyment out of it. But you can disagree with me, but feel free to disagree on that, but that's just my personal opinion. So, yeah. So, number 36 will have to go to Home. Now, number 35, Shrek the Third. Now, Shrek the Third is not a bad movie, like many people say it is. But I have a bit of nostalgic for this film. film, but definitely not one of my but definitely the weakest out of all the Shrek movies. I think the best Shrek movies are Shrek 1 and Shrek 2, but this is still not a bad film. Like many people, even though not many people like this film. But I'll say it is the weakest out of the Shrek movies, but I don't consider this to be an awful movie like many people say it is. But, yeah. So yeah, number 35 will have to go to Shrek the Third. So, yeah. So anyways, number 34. Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. Now, Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa is still not a bad movie. It's a pretty enjoyable sequel, but definitely the weakest out of the Madagascar movies, not counting Penguins of Madagascar. So, yeah. Has an interesting... We do get an interesting story. We get to see Alex reunite with his parents. And yeah. It was pretty cool that we get to see Alex reunite with his parents. So, yeah. Has a pretty good story, really good animation, great returning characters and new characters, but definitely the weakest of the Madagascar films in my opinion, not counting Penguins of Madagascar. So, yeah. So yeah, number 34 will have to go to Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. Now, number 33, The Croods. Now, The Croods isn't a bad movie. The Croods isn't a bad movie. I think this is better than the second film. Not saying the second film is bad, but I think the first film is a lot better. Has good animation, has a pretty good story. It does have a great voice talent of Nicolas Cage, Ryan Reynolds, and Emma Stone. And, yeah. Yeah, I think The Croods is a pretty enjoyable movie. But, yeah. Yeah. Great animation, too. Has really good animation, and, again, has a pretty good... The story was pretty good. But yeah. But not saying much about The Croods. So, yeah. So, number 33 will have to go to The Croods. Now, number 32. Shark Tale. Now, despite people consider this to be the worst DreamWorks movie, I think this is a pretty underrated one. I mean, sure, the animation may not be the best, and the plot is kind of ridiculous, like, you know, Oscar lied to everybody, saying that he killed the shark, and he became famous. Yeah, the plot is kind of ridiculous, but this is not a bad movie, what many people say it is. I think this is an overhated DreamWorks movie. But, yeah. But it is not a terrible movie, like many people say it is. So, yeah. So anyways, it does have a great voice talent of Will Smith and Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, and Robert De Niro. So, yeah. So yeah, Shark Tale is not a bad movie. But if you guys don't like it, I respect your opinion. I think this is a pretty underrated film in my honest opinion. So, yeah. So, number 32 will have to go to Shark Tale. And the fun fact about this film is, this movie came out 1 week before I was born. This movie came out on October 1st, 2004. And I was born on October 6th, 2004. So, yeah, that's a little fun fact. So, yeah. So, number 32 is Shark Tale. So, yeah. Now, number 31, Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Now, I kind of do enjoy Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. I mean, it is definitely aimed towards kids, but I think it's a pretty underrated film. Like, I think it has an interesting story, has good animation, has a pretty good soundtrack, and yeah. Like I said, may be aimed towards kids, but I kind of do find some enjoyment out of it. I mean, of course, I'm not saying I don't enjoy everything about this film. I do not like any of the fart jokes in this film, but it's still, it's a pretty underrated film. Has good animation, a pretty good story, and has a pretty good soundtrack. So, yeah. So anyways, number 31 will have to go to Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. So yeah. So anyways, number 30, Kung Fu Panda 2. Now, Kung Fu Panda 2 is definitely better than Kung Fu Panda 4. Of course, I'm not saying Kung Fu Panda 4 is a bad film, but I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is a bit better. Like, yeah. Kung Fu Panda 2, the animation's good, has a great story, and has a very cool villain. A great villain, Lord Shen. I apologize for that. But, yeah. Lord Shen is a pretty cool villain. Lord Shen is a great villain, and probably the best Kung Fu Panda villain in my opinion. When alongside Kai and Tai Wong. And yeah. Yeah, I think Lord Shen, in my opinion, is the best Kung Fu Panda villain in my opinion. So yeah. Yeah, it has great story. Has pretty good story, good animation, and yeah. And good returning voice talent of Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, and Lucy Liu, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, and David Cross, and yeah. So yeah, so number 30 will have to go to Kung Fu Panda 2. So yeah. So now, number 29. Shrek Forever After, the final chapter. Or Shrek Forever After. Now, Shrek Forever After is definitely better than... I liked it better than Shrek the Third. Of course, not saying Shrek the Third is a bad film like many people say it is, but... I think this is a better film than Shrek the Third. So, yeah. For a while, this was the final installment to the Shrek trilogy, but it's been confirmed that we're getting a Shrek 5 that is set to come out next year in July of 2026. And yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it has great animation, great returning voice talent of Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Karen Diaz, and Antonio Banderas and Julie Andrews, and etc. And has some great scenes, some funny scenes like this scene right here. Do the war. I'll do it again. Do the war. Love you, Daddy. That scene always gets me. So, yeah. Shrek Forever After, the final chapter. pretty enjoyable sequel. So, yeah. So, number 29 will have to go to Shrek Forever After. Forever After. So, yeah. So, now number 28 is DreamWorks' first film that they did. Ants. Now, Ants is a pretty underrated film. So yeah, Ants is a pretty underrated film. Film has a great voice talent of Jennifer Lopez, Sylvester Stallone, and Woody Allen. And yeah. Yeah, but I'll say this. This is a pretty underrated film. I mean, sure, animation is okay-ish. Animation is alright in this film. And this film does have a bit of swearing in it. Like in the kids movie. Why does this have some swear words in it? I don't get it. And this movie was in a big rush. This movie speed up production. It's trying to... This movie came out in 1998. Same year as A Bug's Life. Which is Pixar's insect movie. Pixar's movie about bugs. About insects. And this is DreamWorks' film about insects. And in 1998, it was a big competition. And speed production. While Bug's Life was in production a bit longer. But I'll say this. A Bug's Life is definitely a way better movie than Ants. But again, it's not saying Ants is a bad film. It's still enjoyable. It's pretty underrated. But I definitely say A Bug's Life is the better movie. So yeah. I already explained all that in my review on this film. So yeah. So anyways, number 28 will have to go to Ants. Very underrated movie. And a very underrated start for DreamWorks. So, yeah. So now, number 27, Madagascar, the first one. Now, like I said in my Madagascar reviews, I need to get back to the Madagascar films more often. But yeah, I would say this. I enjoy Madagascar. It has really good animation, great story, and does have a great voice talent of Ben Stillard, Jada Smith, and David Schwimmer, and Chris Rock. So yeah. It was a really good movie. Madagascar is a pretty good film from 2005. So, yeah. Yeah, but again, I want to get back to the Madagascar films more often. I should start doing that. So, yeah. So anyways, number 27 will have to go to Madagascar. Now, number 26, Puss in Boots. Now, Puss in Boots is an enjoyable movie. I used to watch it all the time with my brother and my cousin. I think it was a very fun movie. Movie has really good animation, great story. And yeah, and of course, stars Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots, like he did in the Shrek movies. Well, the Shrek sequels, rather. Puss in Boots wasn't in Shrek 1. He appeared in Shrek 2. So, yeah, I enjoyed Puss in Boots. It's a very good film, from what it is. So, yeah, I had fun memories with this film. Like I watched it at at the water park where my cousin used to work at, and I used to watch it with my at the water park where my cousins used to work. Cousin used to work, and I remember renting it from Blockbuster once, and yeah, we used to watch this film constantly. So yeah, so number 26 will have to go to Puss in Boots. Now, number 25, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. Now, Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas is a very underrated movie. Has really good animation, has a great story, great characters, very underrated movie, and has this voice, starring the voice talent, and it has the voice talent of Brad Pitt. So, of course, as Sinbad, who's our main character. So, yeah, I watched that film for the first time this year on some site for free, and yeah, and I think it was a pretty underrated movie. I would love to go back to it. So, yeah. So anyways, number 25 will have to go to Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. Okay. Now, number 23. How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. I mean, no, not How to Train Your Dragon, Hidden World. How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, How to Train Your Dragon 2 is definitely the weakest of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. But I still enjoyed it from what it is. I mean, yeah, it is very sad that Stork died, and it was very sad that Stork, aka Hiccup's father, died, and yeah, it was very sad, but that is still a very good movie. But I'll say definitely the weakest of out of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. That's for sure. So, yeah, so number 23 will have to go to How to Train Your Dragon 2. So, yeah. So, number 22. The Road to El Dorado. Now, this is another very underrated DreamWorks movie from 2000. This is a pretty underrated movie. Starring the voice talent, has the voice talent of Kevin Kline, and yeah. Yeah, it has great music by Elton John, who also did the music for The Lion King. And yeah. Yeah, this is a pretty underrated film, in my opinion. So, yeah, it has good animation, great music, once again by Elton John, and yeah. Yeah. So yeah, number 22 is definitely The Road to El Dorado. So yeah. Now, number 21, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Now, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted is a very enjoyable movie. This is probably the best out of the Madagascar movies. That's why Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted is the best out of the Madagascar movies. It is really good. So yeah, it has great story. Great characters. Yeah, and a good way to close. And it was kind of a great final installment. Well, of course we got Penguins of Madagascar, but that doesn't count in the Madagascar trilogy. But yeah. But it was a great way to close the series. So, yeah. So number 21 will have to go to Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. Now, number 20, Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. Now, Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron is an enjoyable movie. I like this film. This is better than Spirit Untamed. This is the Spirit movie I would go back to, will revisit anytime I would want to. But as for, like I said, for Spirit Untamed, I probably wouldn't watch it again, but this film I wouldn't mind going back to. So, yeah, it has great story. It is a pretty cute movie. It's a very cute movie. Animation is good, and songs are great, and yeah. Yeah, this is a very good movie. This is a good movie. So, yeah. So number 20 will have to go to Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. So yeah, now, hold on a minute, guys. Now, sorry about that, guys. I forgot something. I forgot a movie. So, yeah. So now, number 19. So yeah, number 19. Rise of the Guardians. Now, Rise of the Guardians is a very underrated film. It is quite of an interesting film. So, yeah, it has really good animation. Has a really good story to it. And yeah. Yeah, this is a very good movie. I enjoy Rise of the Guardians. This is a pretty good film. So, yeah. Has great villain, great characters, and really good animation to it. And that's all I can say about this film. So, that's all I can say about Rise of the Guardians. So, yeah. So, number 19 will have to go to Rise of the Guardians. Now, number 18, Flushed Away. Now, Flushed Away is another movie I have a bit of nostalgic for. It's a really good movie. Has the voice talent of Hugh Jackman and as Waddy, and yeah. Is it? Yeah, Hugh Jackman as Waddy. So yeah, has great story, really good animation. Is Orson. So what do you expect? Orson really makes great movies. So yeah, has great story, great characters, and yeah. And yeah, I used to watch this movie constantly with my brother and mom. I already said that in my review, but yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film a lot. So yeah, so number 18 will have to go to Flushed Away. So yeah. Now number 17. Number 17 will have to go to Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Now, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit is a really another enjoyable movie. It is really good. Has great animation, a great story. Again, I watched it for the first time this year on Peacock, and yeah. Yeah, and this movie is based on the Wallace and Gromit shorts, which I haven't seen the shorts, but if I like the movie, I'm sure I will like the short films to Wallace and Gromit. So, yeah. I enjoy Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. It's a really good movie. So, Yeah, great animation. Of course, it's Orson, so what do you expect? So yeah, so number 17 will have to go to Wallace and Gromit because of the Were Rabbit. Now number 16, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I really enjoyed the Mr. Peabody and Sherman a lot. It has really good animation, great story, great characters. Well, most of the characters are great. And yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed Mr. Peabody and Sherman. And I wanted to see that again. I think I mentioned that in my review, but I wanted to see that film in theaters, but I missed my opportunity. But I ended up watching the film at home when I got it, and I said I loved it that we end up watching it. I used to watch this film every night before I go to bed, and yeah, I really enjoyed Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It was a pretty good movie. Was a really good movie. So, yeah, so number 16 will have to go to Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Now, number 15, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is definitely better than How to Train Your Dragon 2, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not saying How to Train Your Dragon 2 is bad, but I think How to Train Your Dragon 2 was a very good final installment. Has a very sad ending, like, you know, where Hiccup and all the other Vikings said goodbye to their dragons, and Hiccup said goodbye to Toothless. And yeah, it was a very sad ending, but has really good animation too. And I really love the relationship between Toothless and the White Fury, and yeah. I enjoyed How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. So yeah, so number 15, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, number 14. Yeah, number 14. The Bee Movie. Now, I really enjoyed the Bee Movie. I also have a bit of nostalgia for this film. I used to watch it a lot as a kid. I mean, had some funny jokes. Well, some of the jokes weren't funny. They were kind of offensive, but other than that, it's still a very enjoyable film. And yeah. And yet, has great voice talent of Renee Zellweger, Patrick Warburton, Renee Zellweger, Patrick Warburton, and Jerry Seinfeld. But if you're a huge Seinfeld fan, this is a movie for you. So yeah, you know, Jerry Seinfeld voices this character, Barry, and yeah. Yeah, I love this film a lot. Has some funny jokes. Of course, some of the jokes weren't funny, of course, but there were plenty of jokes that were funny, but some aren't. So, yeah, and also has the voice talent of John Goodman, and yeah. I enjoyed Bee Movie. So, yeah. So anyways, number 14 will have to go to the Bee Movie. So, yeah. Now, number 13. Kung Fu Panda 3. I enjoyed Kung Fu Panda 3. It is better than Kung Fu Panda 2 and Kung Fu Panda 4 in my opinion. But again, not saying both of those are bad movies. Kung Fu Panda 3 has a great story. It's quite interesting. We get to see Po reunite with his real dad. And yeah, it has a great villain, Kai, and yeah. I enjoy Kung Fu Panda 3. It's a great movie. It's a great sequel. So yeah. So number 13 will have to go to number 13 will have to go to Kung Fu Panda 3. So yeah. So anyways, number 12. Number 12. Chicken One. I enjoyed Chicken One a lot. Chicken One is a pretty good movie from 2000 with the voice talent of Julia Swati and Mel Gibson. And yeah, it's another awesome DreamWorks film. And yeah, it's a really good movie. Really good animation, has a great story, great villain, Miss Tweety. And of course, Mr. Tweety. And yeah, really good movie. And I'd say this is better than the sequel, Chicken One, Dawn of the Nugget, which you guys know, if you see my review on this film, I'm not a huge fan of Dawn of the Nugget. Chicken One, Dawn of the Nugget. If you see my review, you probably know what I mean, but yeah. I wasn't too crazy. I wasn't a fan of Chicken One, Dawn of the Nugget. I just wasn't. So, but this one is good though, in my opinion. So, yeah. So anyways, number 12 will have to go to... number 12 will have to go to Chicken One. So anyways. Now, number 11. Orion in the Dark. Now, Orion in the Dark was another pretty underrated DreamWorks film. Has a great, interesting story, really good animation, and there's not a whole lot I could explain about this film, but it's still enjoyable. Pretty interesting movie. So, yeah, great animation to it. So, yeah. So anyways, number 11 will have to go to Orion in the Dark. Now we're getting into the top 10. Now, number 10, Megamind. I really enjoy Megamind a lot. Has great voice talent of Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, David Cross, and Jonah Hill. And yeah, this was a really good movie. And it's been making a major cult following over the years. I mean, when this movie came out, it kind of underperformed, but in recent years, this movie is getting the attention that it deserves. And it is a shame that we could have gotten like a proper, actual good sequel. An actual sequel. Like a proper, actual good sequel. You know, Megamind the Doom Syndicate. Which, I still haven't even seen that film. But from what I heard, people said it's abysmal. Yeah, don't get me... So yeah, I probably won't... I don't have plans to watching that terrible sequel. So yeah, it's a shame that we could have gotten an actual sequel. Like a proper actual sequel. So, yeah. Yeah, I heard they butchered Megamind. It's Megamind's character, so yeah. So anyways, Megamind. I really enjoyed this film. Great animation, great story. Everything about this film is wonderful. So, yeah, so number 10 will have to go to Megamind. So, yeah. Now, number 9 is Shrek 2. That's right. Shrek 2. Shrek 2 is an awesome sequel. I love this sequel a lot. I've grown up with it so many times. Like, it is one of those whale sequels that people said this is one of those whale sequels that lives up to the first film. Just like Toy Story 2. And yeah. Yeah, it has great story, great characters. Again, great returning voice talent of Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Karen Diaz. And new voice talent of John Creech, Julie Andrews, and Antonio Banderas, and Jennifer Sanders. And yeah, great characters. And the fairy godmother is a great villain. And yeah, I enjoyed Shrek 2. It's a great sequel. So, yeah. So, number 9 will have to go to Shrek 2. Now, number 8. Puss in Boots, The Last Witch. That's right. In my opinion, that's one of the rare sequels I like better than the original. So, yeah. Puss in Boots, The Last Witch. I may have seen it once since its theatrical release, but I think it is up there in my list. It is just so good. So, yeah, great animation, animation is really good. Probably better than the original film. But, yeah, I'm not saying the animation for the first film isn't bad, but I think the animation for this sequel is a lot better. And, yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed Puss in Boots, The Last Witch. So, yeah, so number 8 will have to go to Puss in Boots, The Last Witch. Now, number 6, Over the Hedge. Oh, I mean, yeah, no, number 7, Over the Hedge. Yeah. Now, Over the Hedge is a hilarious movie. I laugh every time I watch it. I just love this movie a lot. Used to watch it constantly. It does have a great voice talent of Bruce Willis and Steve Carell. And yeah. And so many more actor voices. So, yeah. I really enjoyed Over the Hedge a lot. Very funny film. I love it a lot. I love it so much. I love it a lot when I was a kid. Used to watch it a lot, again, with my brother and my mom. And yeah, I really enjoyed Over the Hedge. It's a very funny movie. So, yeah. So, number 7 will have to go to Over the Hedge. Now, number 6, The Bad Guys. I really enjoyed The Bad Guys. It is a wonderful movie. And yeah, it has really good animation, a great story to it. And I'm definitely looking forward for The Bad Guys 2, which is coming out this August. And yeah, I really enjoyed The Bad Guys a lot. I really wanted to see it in the theater, but sadly, I didn't got the opportunity to. But I watched it at home, and I really enjoyed it. I love The Bad Guys. It's a masterpiece from DreamWorks. And definitely better than stuff like Trolls and Boss Baby. That's for sure. And yeah. Yeah, I love The Bad Guys, and I'm really looking forward for The Bad Guys 2 coming out this August. So, yeah. So anyways, number 6 will have to go to The Bad Guys. Now, number 5, Kung Fu Panda, the first one. I really enjoyed Kung Fu Panda a lot. Has a great story, great characters, great voice talent of Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, and Jackie Chan and David Quartz. It is a wonderful. Kung Fu Panda is a wonderful movie. And Tai Wong is a great villain. So, yeah, really good animation to it. And great story to it. So, yeah. So number 5 will have to go to Kung Fu Panda. I love Kung Fu Panda. It is a masterpiece. So yeah. Now, number 4. The Prince of Egypt. That's right. I love The Prince of Egypt. It is a really good movie. It's a great musical, and it's a great movie. This movie is which we all know, this movie is based on the story of the Exodus that is in the Bible. This movie is based on the Exodus in the Bible. So, yeah. I love this movie a lot. So much. Really good animation. Great story. And the songs in it, the songs are just phenomenal. I love every single song from this movie. Has a really good soundtrack. Has a great soundtrack. And I'll say this. This is probably my favorite DreamWorks musical film. So yeah. This is probably my favorite DreamWorks musical. So yeah. And it has a great voice talent of Val Kilmer, Sandra Bullock, Danny Glover, and Steve Martin, and Martin Short, and Patrick Stewart. It's just that phenomenal. I love this film a lot. Really good animation. So, yeah. And the songs are really good. I love the songs in it. So, yeah. So, anyways, number 4 is definitely going to have to go to The Prince of Egypt. So, yeah, now number 3, The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot is an outstanding masterpiece. I love this film a lot. Wow, just animation is so beautiful and has great characters and great voice talent of Pedro Pascal and Catherine O'Hara and Bill Mayan, etc. It's just really good animation. And it's directed by Chris Sanders, who directed How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch. That's probably what made this film so wonderful. I love this movie. It is definitely at my top. It deserves to be at number 3 on my list. I loved it so much. And it's a good movie to watch with your parents. You know, this movie's like you having a great relationship with your mother. Like, you know, how with Watson Brightbill. And yeah. I enjoyed this movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. You will absolutely love it. So, yeah. So, number 3 will definitely have to go to The Wild Robot. So, yeah. Now, number 2, How to Train Your Dragon. The first one. I love How to Train Your Dragon. It's a great movie. And it's also directed by Chris Sanders. And yeah, great characters, great animation. Really good movie. I love How to Train Your Dragon. The first film. I also enjoyed the sequels. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed the sequels to How to Train Your Dragon, but the first How to Train Your Dragon is the best out of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. I just love How to Train Your Dragon a lot. Toothless and Hiccup are great characters. And yeah, I enjoy How to Train Your Dragon. It is an absolute masterpiece. So, yeah, so number 2 will have to go to How to Train Your Dragon. Now, number 1 of the best of all, number 1, my all-time favorite DreamWorks movie is Shrek. That's right, Shrek. The first Shrek movie. Now, this here is the best DreamWorks movie. I love this movie a lot. So much. I love it so much. It's so funny, really good animation. I also really have grown up with this movie a lot. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, too. Just like I did with other films like Toy Story and etc. This is a really good movie. I love Shrek. This is easily the best DreamWorks film in my opinion. So yeah, great voice talent of Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Karen Diaz, and John Lithgow. Yeah, and Shrek and Donkey are great characters, so is Fiona, and Lord Farquaad is a great villain. Probably the best DreamWorks villain. And yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, very funny movie. I'll say one line. We can stay up late in the morning. I'm making waffles. I love Donkey. He's my favorite character from this entire movie. So, yeah. Shrek will always be my number 1 favorite DreamWorks film of all time. So, yeah. Number 1 will have to go to Shrek. So, yeah. So, there you have it, guys. That is me ranking on all the DreamWorks films from worst to best. So, hope you guys enjoying it. So, yeah. So, anyways, now I ranked all the Pixar films from worst to best. Now I just ranked all the DreamWorks movies from worst to best. So, yes. Now, I like DreamWorks movies. I like DreamWorks. It's a great studio, but I think I like Pixar. I think Pixar and Disney Animation Studios are better animated studios, but I like DreamWorks movies. I like most of their movies. But yeah. Yeah, but I still enjoy I like most of DreamWorks movies. I think DreamWorks is a great studio. I like most of their movies, like I said. But I would definitely say Pixar and Disney Animation Studios are better animated studios, but yeah. But I had fun reviewing on all the DreamWorks films. So, I had fun reviewing on all the DreamWorks films from 1998 through 2024. So yeah, I had fun reviewing on all the DreamWorks films, and I had fun doing this ranking video. So, yeah. So anyways, that is it for my ranking video on all the DreamWorks movies from worst to best. And see you in my next video. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye.